The book of Joshua picks up where Moses left off. The Israelites, after 40 years of wandering in the wilderness, are finally ready to enter the promised land. God had promised this land to their ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Now, under the leadership of Joshua, Moses' chosen successor, they were poised to claim their inheritance. This was no easy task. The land was occupied by numerous Canaanite tribes, many of whom were powerful and well-armed. But God had promised to be with Joshua, just as he had been with Moses. Joshua's first challenge was to get his people across the Jordan River. It was the springtime, and the river was flooded. But God parted the waters just as he had done at the Red Sea, allowing the Israelites to cross on dry ground. This miracle was a clear sign to the Israelites that God was with them and would give them victory. It was also a powerful reminder of God's faithfulness to his promises. The crossing of the Jordan was a pivotal moment in the history of Israel. It marked the end of their wilderness wanderings and the beginning of a new era. They were no longer a people without a home, but a nation poised to take possession of the land God had promised to them. This was their destiny, and Joshua was the man chosen by God to lead them into it. The first major city the Israelites encountered was Jericho, a heavily fortified city. God gave Joshua a strange battle plan. For 6 days the Israelite army was to march around the city once a day, with the priests carrying the Ark of the Covenant leading the way. On the 7th day they were to march around the city 7 times, and then the priests were to blow their trumpets. The people were then to give a great shout, and the walls of the city would collapse. Joshua and the Israelites followed God's instructions to the letter, and just as God had promised, the walls of Jericho came tumbling down. The Israelites were then able to enter the city and claim it for their own. This victory was a testament to the power of God and the importance of obedience. The conquest of Canaan was not without its setbacks. The Israelites suffered a defeat at Ai, a seemingly insignificant city. This defeat revealed sin within the camp of Israel. After dealing with the sin, the Israelites, under God's direction, devised a new strategy and captured Ai. Another notable event was the treaty with the Gibeonites. The Gibeonites, fearing for their lives, tricked the Israelites into making a peace treaty with them. Although deceived, Joshua honored the treaty, demonstrating that even in war, God's people were to be people of integrity. After several years of battles, the land was subdued. Joshua, now an old man, oversaw the division of the land among the 12 tribes of Israel. Each tribe received a portion of the land, fulfilling God's promise to Abraham. The tribe of Levi, which was set apart for priestly service, did not receive a land inheritance. Instead, they were given cities scattered throughout the territories of the other tribes. This arrangement ensured that the Levites could minister to all the people of Israel. The division of the land was a complex undertaking, but it was carried out peacefully and orderly. This was a testament to Joshua's leadership and the Israelites' willingness to follow his instructions. It was also a testament to God's faithfulness. He had promised this land to their ancestors, and now he had given it to them. Section 4. Renewing the Covenant. With the land conquered and divided, Joshua gathered the people together at Shechem. There he reminded them of God's faithfulness to them and their ancestors. He challenged them to remain faithful to God and to serve him only. The people responded by renewing their covenant with God, pledging to serve him and him alone. This renewal of the covenant was a significant event. It marked the beginning of a new chapter in the history of Israel. They were now a nation living in their own land, with their own laws and their own system of worship. But most importantly, they were a people who had committed themselves to serving the one true God. Section 5. A Legacy of Faith. The book of Joshua is more than just a historical account of conquest and settlement. It's a story about faith, obedience, and God's faithfulness. Joshua's life and the lives of the Israelites who followed him stand as a testament to these themes. Joshua's faith in God was evident throughout his life. He trusted God to part the Jordan River, to deliver Jericho into his hands, and to give him victory over his enemies. He obeyed God's commands, even when they seemed strange or difficult. And in turn, God was faithful to Joshua, just as he had promised to be. He gave Joshua victory in battle. He gave him wisdom and strength, and he gave him a long and fruitful life. The book of Joshua reminds us that God keeps his promises. He is faithful to his people even when they are not faithful to him. And he will give us the strength and courage we need to overcome any obstacle, as long as we are willing to trust and obey him.